All right. I don't actually know where we are safe. I don't know where we can flee to, where we are treated as just human. Just human. That's all I want. Where we are not treated like abused animals. We're not that animals should be abused either. But when you are treated like you would treat a dog that you're kicking if you're that way inclined, that's what I don't like, because it's not fair on our people. And though, yes, what I'm going to say shows the big problem with my people, but we are still a people. Well, actually all are a people, really. I grew up thinking we're all one people, except for a few problem dads, like the dad who was teaching his dog, to bark or attack only black people. Those were outliers. I just thought we were all people, as you know, until I realized, no, people don't view me as just a person. I'm disgusting, I'm nothing, I'm less than, I'm stupid, I'm ignorant, just because of what I look like. So, but that's not my aim. My aim is to, I don't know, I just want us to really think about what we do as black people everywhere. Because what we do really allows the treatment to continue, the maltreatment, the mistreatment, the abuse, and the crime. Yes, there is, of course, revenge attacks. There are revenge attacks on people, but yeah, there are revenge attacks on people who didn't do anything, who, because they are white, they get attacked because of a crime that was committed against the person's dad. You see, that's the other thing. Some things we can blame on apartheid. I always see the racists saying, oh, there they go again, apartheid ended 30 years ago. I am 44 this year. I was alive during apartheid, and I'm only 44. Now imagine my 47-year-old brother or sister, my 49-year-old, my 50-year-old, my 60-year-old. We are still alive. We went through apartheid. It's like now, it happened just now. 30 years of freedom has not changed anything, because racist people's hearts have not changed. So yes, the law has changed, but the people themselves didn't miraculously wake up after the results of the 1994 vote were announced to say, oh, okay, that's it. I'm going to stop abusing my domestic worker and my maid. I'm going to stop hurting my gardener now because, the country has voted. Black people are human now. It didn't change the mindset of the racist. Some racists went overseas. Some racists don't have the money to go overseas, so they remain. And now this is the reason I can't keep quiet about racism, because it still happens and it still has different levels. It can be just the sneer and the attitude, and it can be also the violence and the crime. I will go back to what I mentioned before, when we were in the Eastern Cape and we were on a farm holiday with the children. The children, we had 4 of them, and my husband wanted to just go jogging like every human being. Go jogging. And the lady, they were white, who owned this huge farm, they said, don't go out the gate and jog there. Jog within the farm, which is big enough, because the other farmer and his sons get on their quad bikes and attack black people. So it's not safe to be on foot, because they come and they beat and they attack. I don't know if she's ever reported it to the police. Oh, I don't know. That's another story. And that was the whole point of the dialogue group, where you call out the racism, you report it, and you try and stop it as much as you can, so that people face up to the fact that what they're doing is not appropriate, not acceptable, not only to the victim, but to their fellow white people. That was the point of that racism dialogue group that I mentioned in a previous video. So here is the problem now. The white people, of course, they sit at their braai's barbecue, and they sit around and they discuss how stupid we are and how we've messed up the country. We know, because all of us have messed up the country, right? And how we're all stupid, and how we're all litter, and how we're all whatever we all do, which we don't all do, obviously, just like not all white people are hateful. So here is my problem. My problem is with us for perpetuating the mistreatment of us. when you show someone that they are superior to you, and they've been raised to believe they are superior to you, you are just confirming it to them. I am superior. Even one of them has told me I am superior. So of course I will treat them as the underlings, and they are. As the underlings, they are. I will treat them as the rubbish they are. They themselves say they are rubbish compared to me. That is what the white racist person will say. And you do it in ways that are so subtle. You internalized racists. Internalized racism is the racism that a black person or a person of color has against their own race. You have been brainwashed into thinking your own race is inferior, is animalistic, and the white race is superior and worthy of being treated like a human or like a queen, and your people are just serfs and slaves. That is internalized racism, my dictionary, Tandy's dictionary version. So it's simple things. You go to what we have in South Africa. We have the cashier or the teller who sits at the she sits in the supermarket or the clothing store, but most of the supermarket. And she sits at the supermarket and she rings up your stuff, right? And then you might have a packer who then packs the stuff. Sometimes the cashier also does the packing of your grocery goods. So you find the cashiers who are just known to have bad customer service all over. Like, we all know that they give bad customer service. They don't discriminate. They treat everyone like they're nothing, just a waste of their time. So they'll just go, what we have is, you ask if you've got a rewards card for the shop or a loyalty card. They ask if you want a plastic bag to put the stuff in, or a bag made not of plastic, like at Woolworths. Or if you say no, then that means you've got your own bag, or you're just going to carry your shopping, right? Or your grocery, whatever you might have bought. So you have the cashiers who are, especially like shops like ShopRite and sometimes Checkers, they are universally known as the ones who hire staff who have no idea how to give good customer service. Chewing gum, okay, look, you're a robot, you're nothing, they don't see you as a person. So that they are those people. Spa card, that's spa card for the shop spa, quick spa, super spa. Spa card, drink. Plastic. Or if they really don't see you, or if, like I said in my other video, they think you're foreign and even lower than a black South African, they won't even offer you a plastic bag to put your goods in. Or otherwise, they will say plastic, which is plastic. Would you like a plastic bag, ma'am? That's the long version. But we're not very good at customer service. So plastic, okay, and then you take the plastic bag. You say yes. There are people who do that only to black people. Those cashiers who are 99% in Cape Town, black or colored, people of color, they will ask you, they won't even look in your eye. Spa card. You hand it over, no greeting, no nothing. Plastic, and then you're gone. And then the white customer behind you, you all look the same, you're just shopping. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Do you have a rewards card? And they hand over the rewards card. Okay, would you like a plastic bag? And you're thinking, what in the world? Why? They were watching, they were behind us. They saw how you spoke to us. And they noticed how you brightened up, glowed, and gave them preferential treatment. When you give someone preferential treatment who is not aware, they will assume they deserve preferential treatment. They will assume they deserve preferential treatment, and they will expect preferential treatment from all black people. Whereas some of us black people believe we're all human, we're all equal, and therefore deserve all good customer service. Now, what, you won't get better just because you're white? Why should you? You're just a human being. So that's the problem. And it's not only cashiers. I'll give some of my husband's examples. you go to, my husband travels a lot. He is a member of Discovery and Investec, so they have these lounges where you wait, where it's more comfortable. The loos are much nicer. The sofas and waiting areas are much nicer. You can plug in your laptop and do some of your work, and you can even just refresh. You know, like if you've got a long layover between trips, you can refresh, you can wipe up. They've got face cloths in the loo. They've got special food that is free, if you remember. It's really nice in there. So what happened is, there are even levels apparently in there. I wouldn't know. The last time I went into a lounge was, I don't know how many years ago, because I'm just a stay-at-home mom. I stay at home. So he went, and it was a black person, black male. He takes him to this inner sanctum, you know, where the very, I don't know who. He goes into the inner sanctum and he tells him, oh, okay, here someone else will serve you because it's that person's area. So that's fine. Okay, no problem. He was polite about it. He wasn't rude. Someone else will serve you. I don't work in this area. I don't work in this area. That is what the black person said to his fellow black person, which is not a problem. But the problem comes in when you're sitting there doing, you know, thinking you've had a normal interaction, and then Mr. Black Boy comes in, brings white customers or white travelers to the same area and serves them. Doesn't want them to sit and wait. That is preferential treatment based on skin color. And you're not preferring us who have struggled with you. You're giving the queen the treatment she apparently deserves because she's the queen and we are just servants, slaves. That is the problem. Now imagine some other white person sitting there in the airport watching this, or just, you know, overhearing it. Okay, you didn't serve the black guy, but now he's serving the white guys. What is that telling him? We get better treatment. We deserve better treatment. It might not be conscious, but they've been taught this since birth, generally. Not all, but they've been taught this since the day before they were born. They knew they were better than us, generally. Not all, but they knew it. And we continue this by how we act. Or let's say my husband goes to, this is what depresses me now. This is what is so sad. I have felt at home in Johannesburg. There are more of us. I don't feel like I'm the minority. I don't stand out. We're all mostly like me. Johannesburg is like a totally different country. And there, and in KwaZulu-Natal, which is also very black with some Indians, I have felt, well, and obviously there are white people, obviously, but there are more of us because that's where we were forced to remain. So there are more of us in KwaZulu-Natal. And I've always noted to my black friend that the blacks in KwaZulu-Natal are friendlier and more polite than the blacks in any other province we've both been to. And she's in a different province. She's in the Eastern Cape. It's true. Blacks in Johannesburg, they're not as friendly. You know, they don't relate to you like a brother or sister, like their brother or sister, like the Natal blacks do. With. And they're also polite when they are cashiers. It's different. So here we are. I was going to share something that happened to my husband, but I decided, though I didn't identify which company he works for, just be safe, rather safe than sorry. So I'll talk about instead someone else's experience. Zukile works for something big like Woolworths or Truworths or Foschini or Clicks, something well known not only throughout the country but everywhere. Zukile works right near the top of the organizational structure, right near the top. In fact, he runs the whole field, his particular department. He is the head of that department. To be similar to having a chief information officer, that kind of role. In fact, it is that kind of role. So Zukile then decides, I'm going to go to Johannesburg and I'm going to go and just check out the stores in Johannesburg, right? Which I'm also used to. Even when my husband worked for one of the others that I named, he would also be doing store visits on Sundays, so we'd hang around and he's asking managers different questions. This never happened to him there. come to think of it. So why did it happen to Zukile in Johannesburg? And here in Cape Town, the managers were usually colored. Anyway, so Zukile goes to Johannesburg, and I have great hope and trust in Johannesburg black people. It's been shattered. I thought we were all one because I felt at home, but no, I think the colors and the blacks in Cape Town are much better than those Johannesburg people. So Zukile is, as I said, in the organization. He works for the organization, so he's got an employee card that he carries with him everywhere he goes. So Zukile goes to a shop and he says, "Hi, my name is Zukile, and I am here to check on your systems, find out if there are any problems that you're experiencing that we can fix, find out if your ABC, XYZ, FDE, all these acronyms that I don't even understand, if those systems are working. Do you have any problems with customers not getting their goods in on time?" That was Zukile's question. The woman says, "Black, how do I know you are who you say you are?" That sneering tone would have never been used on a white person. It should never be used on anyone who's got an employee card. They could just type in, swipe the card, and find the details right there. What is it with this attitude? Just, towards our people. And it's an attitude we all know would not ever be shown towards paler skinned people. So that was that. Second one, Zukile goes to a different shop. "I've come to check your systems. I want to see if there's anything that you need help on. Are all problems being logged and reported quickly, and are they being resolved quickly, or is there a lag? Do you wish things would improve in any areas? Let me know." Zukile did not at any point ever say, "I want to sit behind the till and watch your people working." Zukile did not at any point say, "Can you please give me your merchandise so I can see if it fits me properly?" Like, there was nothing Zukile said that would make you think, "Oh my word, this person wants to steal something." And I bet you the last thing a thief cares about is how fast or how slowly customers customers' orders are being fulfilled. That's like, really? They might ask, I don't know, "Can you tell me what systems you are using?" But then if you are an employee, you should know that, right? And as I said, Zukile came from head office. Most retailers' head offices, except for me, I think Mr. Price, are in Cape Town. So he's based in Cape Town. And then the woman had already come with attitude, like, "Yeah, who are you?" Again, she was shown the employee card. And it's not like you went to the shop and got a birthday card, like a true proper card. It's almost like the same that you'd find. It's the same like a credit card. That all this person could have done was go into the system, swipe the card, go into the system, and then see, oh, this person is who they say they are. She could have even asked for Zukile's ID just to confirm that, okay, these are the same people, if need be. Though, as we know, generally, that would not have even been thought of. No one would do that to a black person. To a white person, no one would be like that, off-put. Like, I don't know, not even off-put. No one would be like that. Just whatever, you're a waste of time. They would never show that kind of attitude to someone who was white, saying they're coming from head office. So, whoever didn't check the information, couldn't be bothered. Whatever, who cares? I don't believe you. And then she called I don't know what you'd call it, about their immediate manager. That immediate manager didn't know anything about Zukile coming. Now Zukile is at head office. The whole point is to do drop-ins to see how things are going on a normal day. Zukile has no reason to tell anyone that I'm going to come. He has no reason to. He's part of the ownership of the organization, so to speak. So that person didn't know Zukile either. Again, all the store person should have done was swipe the employee card which was given and compare it to the person's ID and then all would have been resolved. But no, refused to believe. So Zukile then phoned the head of the stores and said, you people here are being difficult. I can't carry out my job. I can't go around and do what I'm meant to be doing, which is checking on things, making sure things run fast. So this person then phones the store manager who had been refusing and not wanting to help Zukile. And she obviously said a lot and asked her, who exactly are you? What's your name? Yeah. And so then the store manager suddenly came back, and this person happened to be white, the one who Zukile had phoned. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, let's go ahead. And then she got another call from the manager above her who she had initially called. The manager above her who she had initially called. And that manager too obviously gave her a huge, oh my word, we are messing up big time. And I think there was a third phone call from people saying, what are you doing trampling on toes? What's wrong with you? And suddenly then Miss Store Manager burst into action and believed. And what makes me sad is that we know if Zukile had been white, this would not have happened. That's the truth. At the very least, if you really honestly didn't believe that they were trustworthy or believable, then they would have checked the details on the computer. Why are we lazy? Why are we so lazy when it comes to each other, but we're willing to bend over backwards for someone else? And we teach them that we will bend over backwards for you, but for our own, whatever. And you think that our combined suffering, our communal suffering, would make us more mindful of each other and where we've come from, what we've dealt with, and even be more thoughtful of each other. But nope, that person in Johannesburg, those people in Johannesburg, there were two. They have totally messed up the idea I'd had of Johannesburg. I don't think those people are actually free. They've got so much internalized racism, it's unbelievable. Okay, granted that's only for Zukile's workplace, but where there's a few, there are more, obviously. It goes without saying. And so my problem, actually I'll then cut to where I come to. Yeah, and so my problem is that with the way we are teaching people to treat us, we have caused a problem. Because it's one thing for them to have an attitude. It's one thing for them not to serve us when we are paying for a service or are willing to pay for a service. It's one thing to deny us medical help because they don't listen to us properly, like the people who told me to go to a GP for my daughter's moving rib. But what we are doing is teaching those people, the racists, whites, how to treat us. We're telling them that our black people are not trustworthy. Our black people don't deserve any treatment of respect. They're nothing to us. And the white person, the white racist will say, I believe blacks are nothing. Their own people are saying they're nothing. So I'm not doing anything wrong. It will move from a bad attitude to withholding services, and it will move to life and death situations. That is my worry. That is why I'm calling out and asking us to please think when we're acting, when we're interacting with people, how do we treat them when they're black versus when they're white? Is there something we can fix? Only we can fix this part. Internalized racism is on us. I hope that we will see that all of us are equal. The ideal would be if we gave quality treatment to everybody. But on the flip side, then just be a bad customer service provider to everyone so that they don't keep on thinking they are superior. Yeah, so that's my request. I'm really disappointed in those Johannesburg people. It happened twice. And if we can't believe each other, if we can't stand up for each other, if we can't help each other, if we can't even make the effort to see if what we have said, what the other has said is true, what hope is there for us? And if there's no hope for us, there's definitely no hope for the other people who are waiting for a negative to come from us. And then we supply it. Imagine now the other store people who might be not black, and the customers, they're thinking, oh, all right, so Zukile did say who he is, but he's not trustworthy. His own person, someone in his own race group, doesn't want to believe him, doesn't want to believe his word. So why should we? These people are obviously rubbish. Their own people think they're rubbish. And then that devolves it into something worse than just mental abuse towards us. It then devolves, or it becomes physical, where a friend of mine, her own husband was abused and beaten because he washed a car wrong. This man doesn't even have a car. He's never had experience. What's with the violence? Or the time that a video went viral at the back of a fish shop, where it's not open for the staff or for the customers, but there was a CCTV camera, and he berated the man for some minor mistake, and he kicked him and he beat him hard. This will continue in many places. This one just happened to have a CCTV camera, and someone just happened to share the video footage. There are many of us who are suffering silently, or not so silently, but our pleas don't go out to the whole nation because we're less important. So I want us, please, to be kind to each other, to lift each other up instead of holding each other down, to love without favor, without prejudice, to see all of us as one people. So I beg of you, Black people, please treat us all the same. That's all I ask of you. Either be disrespectful to all of us or manifest the same kind, perfect, good customer service, the same respect. Accord us all the same respect. Please, that is all. And that by doing that, you are teaching the racist that, oh, we are all equal. And that's all I want. Because you see, what happens is that when you don't, they mistreat us. They are the bosses who make us dig and dig and dig, not even a bottle of water offered to us, while the supervisor, who is white, gets bottles of water, is allowed to sit in the van and just watch, and gets paid more just to watch. They are the people who, this is now a video that went viral, where in the back of the fish shop, because the person made whatever mistake, they were kicked and beaten, caught on the CCTV, kicked and beaten and called every racial slur possible for a small mistake, which they would never do to one of their own. When we do that, when we teach them that we are worthy of abuse, they continue the abuse and crime. They hurt us, they injure us, and I need that to stop.